Hello everybody, this is Frank Demore again, and this is April the 29th, 2011 news, and I'm going to continue on. And what I'd like to do is go into Matthew 24:7, where Jesus gives us many different signs in that one particular verse in Matthew 24:7. And some of the signs in that verse Jesus points to, and he says to watch for wars and rumors of wars. And also in, as I've talked about it already, in the Old Testament, a prophecy that hasn't been fulfilled yet is Psalm 83. Those are the nations surrounding Israel, the bordering Israel, that they will be attacking in the last days, just prior to the Ezekiel 38 war. And so I'd like to cover this. And if you click to my link, which is www.bibleprophecyman.com. You'll see this news there with the link. It says this concerning Syria, because we know that Syria has been one of those nations like Tunisia, Yemen, Egypt, and many of these other nations who have gone into turmoil. And Syria is one of the most violent, as what we see that's happening in Libya as well. But it says this: a banned Syrian opposition groups call on anti-government protesters to take the streets ahead of Friday's prayers is a direct challenge to the country's authorities, a political expert says. It is believed that it is the first time that the Islamic Muslim Brotherhood has called for street action since a popular uprising against President Bashar al-Assad began 6 weeks ago. The Day of Rage demonstrations expected today would express solidarity with the besieged southern city of Dura, where at least 50 people have been reportedly killed by security forces. Dura has been the focus of unrest, which has left at least 500 people dead, human rights groups say. And this is the important part right here. It says, by issuing this call, they, the Muslim Brotherhood, now keep in mind the Muslim Brotherhood are the same people who are very influential in Egypt today, and these are one of the groups that have been pushing and actually pushed Mubarak out of the government. And this is the Islamic group, the Islamic extremists, and we know that the Islamic extremists are the ones who will be going after Israel. And so what is happening in Syria and in Libya and Egypt and nations like this who are mentioned, by the way, in Psalm 83, it becomes very, very important to understanding why these things are taking place, because these nations are getting ready for the right people to be in power to push for this Psalm 83 war. And again, let me read this. It says, by issuing the call to the Muslim Brotherhood, we acknowledge that they are in the power that is in change of the process in the country. It says, Al Abdullah said. On the other hand, the fact that their call has appeared at a time when the West is increasing pressure on Syria means they are going on the same plan. So they're talking about the United States. They're going against what Israel or what Syrians are doing. So it looks like the Muslim Brotherhood and the United States are one faction, but if the United States had any brains, they would know that this faction, they're more radical, and they're going to be the ones who are going to cause more problems for the United States and the rest of the world. Now, going down in the second article, it says this: the Egyptian FM Itterbury tells that the Al Jazeera that the Gaza crossing could be open, and now we're talking about Gaza, where the Palestinians, one of the factions, the PLO, they're in charge there at the Gaza in Israel. And this is what this news is talking about, opening the border. It says the crossing could be open in 7 to 10 days. Steps taken to alleviate suffering of the Palestinians. And there was just an article last week that showed that the people went into the Gaza and said that they weren't suffering, and it's all a facade. It goes on to say the opening of the crossing would allow greater freedom of movement for the people on both sides of the border, as well as goods in and out of Gaza without Israeli permission. And so what you have here, because of what happened in Egypt, you have an open border here that the Egyptians now, who don't like the Israelis, and because of the Muslim Brotherhood's influence, they're actually allowing these people to flow into the Gaza, and this is going to be a major problem for Israel, and it's going to have to stop. So this is another point of contention that the Israelis are going to have to deal with. Now, the influx of people who are migrating from Egypt into the border going into Gaza, obviously the Israelis are worried that a lot of these people are extremists, and I believe personally that many of these people will be marching, as I already mentioned in my first video, on Sunday, May 15th, in this third Infanzada. So it's something to really watch for, and all of these signs are signs that we're going to see another war soon. And obviously the sign of rumors of war has already been fulfilled, and we know from Jesus' word that there will be other wars, and this is what we were supposed to look for. Now, excuse me, considering today is the 29th, I just want to remind those that are in the fast team that we've assembled for Pastor Titus. Pastor Titus and his team of 8 people will be going into Sudan, and they're going to start traveling tomorrow, April 30th of 2011. And so the team that has been assembled to be fasting for each day that they're in the field witnessing in Sudan, again, I wanted to mention to you that we start this fast tomorrow. Now, when you look at my website, go down and you will see a list of the dates that you will be fasting if you made a pledge to go with Jesus and fast before the Lord for these Pastor Titus and his team. Now, tomorrow it will be Kurt McLean and myself who will start the fast, and please take this to heart, and if you've pledged to do this, please fast on those days. Now, a lot of people have asked me, they have medical problems and they can't fast completely from food, but let me just say this: the Lord knows your heart. That's the most important part of giving whatever you're going to give up for the Lord, and the Lord will honor that. So don't worry and don't be concerned about that. Jesus knows your heart. He even says it in the scriptures, both in the Old Testament and the New Testament, that he knows the hearts and the minds of men. So he knows why you're doing this. So don't let these physical ailments or restrictions get in the hampering of you fasting. And then on May 1st, it's going to be Dave Shadow who is going to fast on that day. And then you'll see the rest of the names at my site. So please go and check those dates and make sure that you're fasting. It's really important that they know, and we have somebody before the Lord every single day. And this is going to be a blessing, and I'm going to be waiting to hear the good news of the reports of this, the fast that we'll be doing for Pastor Titus and the 8 people, his team that will be going. Now, I also would like to, if I may, please pray for my son Adam. My son Adam has a garage door business, and obviously you need a truck for a garage door business. And yesterday, he got a phone call today, and he's doing some other work, and he was, let's put it this way, he's not at home, but his truck was home, and he got a call from the apartment manager that his truck blew up and his truck incinerated. It's a Ford 2001 Ford F-150. And to my knowledge, there's been a lot of these trucks who've just started in flames, which I did not know, and I started to look on the internet. But anyway, Adam is out of town. He's going to be coming into town, and that's the only vehicle that he has. So please pray that his life will not be in turmoil, because, as I said, if you don't have a truck, you can't really work. And all his tools and everything were in that truck, and he's lost everything. And my son loves the Lord. He's been witnessing for Jesus Christ. He's opened up a brand new website, a prophecy site, and it deals with many, many different topics. And he's building the site, but he's doing the Lord's work. And it doesn't surprise me that Satan's pretty upset with them, and who knows. But in any case, I just wanted to mention, please remember my son in your prayers, and hopefully that everything will work out for him. I'm praying that Ford, because of all these different fires that are taking place on these Ford F-150s, that he'll be able to be reimbursed for what's taken place in that fire. Now, if you do own, or if you know anybody that has a Ford F-150, a 2001, that had to go before Ford and to pressure for them to pay for these things, please email me and I'll send that information out to my son. But again, thank you for coming to my website, and enjoy this weekend, and just keep looking up, because I know the news is bad. There's a lot of bad news, but the good news is Jesus gave us all of these signs as an encouragement, so that when we see them, we were to look up and know that he's coming back for us shortly. And I know that the Lord has his hand on the door and is about ready to turn it. And when he does, that door will open up and he's going to call the church into heaven. And you and I, will be caught up into the clouds to meet Jesus Christ in the air, where our real home is. And we will be with Jesus and see him face to face. And I don't think that's too far off. So with that, have a great weekend, and God bless you all.